Hello guys and welcome back to Haymanager with me, Alex, and today another tactical transfers for you. It is indeed Everton. I've got to try and get through these probably a bit of a faster pace now as the transfer window is closing, the Premier League is approaching us. I think I've done some of the major clubs. I've yet to do the likes of Chelsea and Manchester City and places like that, but I'm doing the more interesting ones first. I'm doing Everton today, as you've seen in the title. I want to do a West Ham one as well, because that'll be an interesting one to see who they can bring in. And also potentially Wolves. But I think Wolves have done a nice bit of transfer business so far. Today, Everton, an interesting one. Rafa Benitez has taken over. He's gone to the other side of Liverpool. He obviously was the manager in the famous 2004-2005 season when they won the Champions League. But yeah, obviously he is liked in Liverpool. He wants to go back. A great challenge and a great project at Everton for him to sort of handle. And yeah, I think it'll be a nice one to see how he does. But they've made a few signings already. They've signed Demarai Gray, should I say? Sorry, not Demarai. Demarai Gray, 1.7 or 1.3 million. I can't remember which value it was, from Bayer Leverkusen, which is very, very cheap. Very cheap transfer. I think Bayer Leverkusen must have just needed the money or didn't want him, in a sense. So that he is gone. He is now arrived in Everton. He looks like a very promising player. He scored on his debut. I think 13 minutes into his debut, he scored, obviously in a friendly. But he's done very well. And then they've also signed Townsend on a free from Crystal Palace. So he has obviously left probably highlighted that in the Crystal Palace episode where Townsend might have been leaving. Obviously he has now officially left. Excuse me. So, the starting 11 that I think will probably stay at Everton this season, I can't see them spending big. This is the only thing. They spent a lot of money when Ancelotti came in, obviously looking to try and keep him for the long term, but it hasn't sort of materialised, has it? That plan that they had, obviously, in place. So, instead, we're going to look at probably Pickford playing in net for the foreseeable future. Had a pretty good Euros, a very good Euros in fact. Didn't have to do much, but he was always there. He's a passionate goalkeeper. He looks pretty good. He didn't have a fantastic season for Everton last year, but obviously turned up for the Euros. Digne, a fantastic left-back option. Keane, Mina and Godfrey, Godfrey played a lot of the right-back role. Coleman, approaching 32 now, not got the pace. Godfrey, a very fast player, can sit in that back three. I'll show you why I've also gone from perhaps this type of formation. Allen and Doucouré in the midfield too. James Rodriguez in that cam role, who I think is a fantastic signing from them last year. Richarlison on the left, who also sort of plays as a left forward. Calvert-Lewin up front. And then obviously the right wing spot, which I have left open, because I think they have to sign a new right winger. Townsend doesn't fit the bill for it. Demarai Gray plays on the left. They need to fill that right wing spot. I don't think they have anyone for it as of yet. So, for me, we're going to first approach this right wing spot and see what I can do with that. So I have two options for them. There's two significant options. The first option, and the option that I think they should probably go for, is definitely Ismaila Sarr. Ismaila Sarr is such a great player. Such a great player. Get his stats up here. 39 matches last year for Watford. 13 goals, 4 assists, obviously, if the stats don't come through on FB Ref for the Championship. But such a stunning player. He's had a year in the Premier League already. I think he got 7 goals, 6 assists or something like that. So even for a young lad who came into the Premier League, he was very, very good. He's been linked with Manchester United. He was linked with Arsenal before they bought Pepe. He was linked with a lot of clubs. And he'd never make the move. He never made the move. He was valued out. He was around about 70 million. So valued out big time. But I think Everton, if they ever went for a big signing, a signing that they know is going to be there for years, proven in the Premier League, can really build that front three. He's got pace, he's very athletic, he's technical, that's the big one. He's great going forward, can play on the left as well if need be. But on the right, for me, Ismaila Sarr, it's got to be. He's had a phenomenal season for Watford last year as well, but Watford won't want to let go of him for cheap. That's the main thing. Watford have a pretty strong side in themselves. A very solid side, in fact, and I think a side that could probably hold themselves to maybe a mid-table slot, perhaps, if everyone stays fit and they play to their system. Watford can probably try and attain that mid-table side with the sort of transfers that have gone on at the moment. So it'll be interesting to see what goes on with Watford and whether or not they want to sell Ismaila Sarr. But the link hasn't been made as of yet. The other link that has been made, but for another club who I think would slot in as well, pretty well, it's Matthias Pereira. Now, I raved about this man last year. Absolutely raved about it. I thought he was the bee's knees last year. I thought he was really, really good. A great pickup by West Brom, 7.7 million from Sporting. I think it was Sporting anyway, I believe it was. We were on the Portuguese sides. 33 matches played, 11 goals and 6 assists in the Premier League in his opening season for a very, very disappointing West Brom side. Shot creating actions per 90, 3.6. So he's creating a lot of shots. His dribbling success is around about 50%, which is what you're looking at. I'd say elite wingers, pretty high-end wingers up there. He does kind of prefer that cam role, but he can play out on the right wing, can play out on the left. He prefers the left a little bit, but can play on that right, which is something that I was thinking about quite a lot lately. If you look at this Everton side, you can probably see it transforming. If Richarlison goes up front, you can see James probably doing his own thing in behind the two strikers, and then maybe you can have like this outlet spot where Richarlison can drift out to the left, and then maybe Pereira, for example, can drift out to the right. But Pereira would be a player that could potentially replace James when he starts to slow down and drops into that midfield role, probably coupling Doucouré in that midfield slot. But we'll have to see what happens there. I think the midfield of Doucouré in that CDM role, James and Pereira, and those two very creative but pretty energetic and clever players. And Richarlison, Calvert-Lewin, and perhaps Keane up front would be an interesting one as well. But yeah, that's my feeling for this team. Now, going forward, we're looking at potentially having creating a side for them here, Everton. I want to try and create something for them for the long run. So for me, Moise Keane is a fantastic talent, and it doesn't look like he's going anywhere soon. He's been playing quite a bit in the pre-season. Obviously, Calvert-Lewin is the number one striker. But for me, Moise Keane, he's not going to be replaced. And he's got to play. He's a fantastic talent. He's been scoring quite a few goals in pre-season. So you're looking at Richarlison playing out on the left wing, which is his natural position. What he likes to do, he plays out on the left wing spot. Calvert-Lewin up front, maybe Moise Keane as well. And then if you do sign Ismaila Sarr or even Pereira, for example, those right wingers can play in the right. Then you have a fantastic front four. It's a very, very attacking front four, very creative front four, a lethal front four. I think that covers a lot of boundaries. Calvert-Lewin with his heading ability, Keane with his runs in behind and how slick he is and skillful, Sarr with his pace, Richarlison with the lethal ability to cut inside. I think he's very, very creative. And to partner that in the midfield, you need someone who's going to replace Allen in a few years' time because he's getting it on a little bit more now. I don't think Allen would be a fantastic pick. He's a bit too hot-headed for me. And there's a player from FC Metz called Maiga. I believe it's Maiga. It might be Maiga. Maiga, I think it is. I think he's a very underrated player. I've got to say, a very, very underrated player. Last year, he plays like a defensive midfielder role. Very energetic. People like to compare him to like a Kante, for example. But this Kante, I've already had this conversation. This Kante comparison, like phase, it's a very weird one because everyone likes to compare him to him, but he's very, very good in that defensive midfielder spot. He's very energetic. He's very good on the ball as well, which is rare. Matches played 31, 3 assists, 83.1% pass completion, 41 interceptions, and 87 tackles. I've run out of space on my memory card. I'll quickly try and change that now for you whilst I'm speaking. But yeah, nonetheless, this player, he's an absolute stunner. He plays a lot of the central the left hand side of a defensive midfielder pivot in the two. So I think if you see the side that I've created here on your screens, you'll see that he partners Doucouré pretty well. Doucouré a very attacking player, whereas Maiga probably just sits back a bit more. He's more of I'd say he likes to intercept the play, distribute the ball out to the left and right. He's a very sensible type of central defensive midfielder. So for me, that's something that you're probably going to look at developing perhaps in the future, but you'll have to see how that goes. But I think that'll be another great signing. He's not valued very high. I think, for example, Everton will probably be missing out if they don't go for him now, because he'd probably contribute right now. As I'm going to put my camera back on. There we are. We're back in action. But yeah, that is literally how I'd probably rate this side altogether. So sorry for the little bit of a mishap there. It's a bit of a rare one where my camera doesn't like to record for as long. It's going to be a strange type of year for them. Obviously, how I think he'll play Rafa Benitez is this 4-2-3-1. It's his preferred position, how he likes to play football. But for me, with the talent they've got at the back, you can see them perhaps change to a 3 at the back. You've obviously got Allen and Decore to cover. And then you may be looking at Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin to play up front. James can play then in that cam role. Richarlison gets to go forward a bit more and contribute to the goals because he can contribute to those goals. He's very good at doing that. And then Digne has that free roam, left wing back sort of position where he can go forward, playing like a left mid, defensive mid role, where he's allowed to get forward, cross the balls in, use his abilities where he's like most strong. And then also you got Sarr on the right hand side as well, who can use his ability on that right hand side. Someone to play that right mid role is going to be someone unique, and I think Sarr can do that. I think he's got the energy, he's got the fitness, he's got the pace. He can get back well. Godfrey's also covering that right hand side with Decore as like a hold as well. Mina and Keane can obviously play together in the back 3 because we've seen that before. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see how this back 3 can go through a 3-5-2 or potentially have that 4-2-3-1 that we've seen Rafa Benitez play year in, year out, basically, with any side he's gone to. So yeah, sorry for the little mix-up in the middle there. You've probably not seen my face for as long as you'd liked to. I think it's better off that I probably don't put my face on it too much anyway. But yeah, thanks for watching. Absolutely magnificent. 98 subscribers on at the moment. I will be bringing out a 100 subscribers special if you are willing to stick around. And you're probably watching this right now. I've got to appreciate you if you're watching this right now. So 100 subscribers special, it'll probably be my top 10 football kits. So there we go. Something to look forward to if I do hit those 100 subscriber goal that I've gone for. Thank you for watching yet again. If you didn't enjoy the video, please leave a like. It lets you know if you're enjoying this type of content. And obviously, I shall catch you in the next episode. Don't forget to subscribe. You think I'd be good at saying that by now? Obviously, I'm not. And I shall catch you in the next episode. From me, Alex. Have a great day. See you soon. Ciao.